Hey everyone. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about finding the perfect foundation and some of the criteria that you need to look for when looking for a foundation. If I keep looking down here, it's because I've got a little cheat sheet here of things to remember when I talk. You know, I gotta say, I just love the HD camera. I mean, honestly, I love it. I love the way it just makes me in such a soft light. It's so nice. Okay. Finding the perfect foundation is, I always think that the perfect foundation is the one that you found and then suddenly becomes discontinued. I think that is the typical perfect foundation. But there are some criteria along the way that can kind of help you, I think, with picking the right foundation. First thing you need to think about is the texture of it, whether or not you prefer creams, liquids, cream to powder, or powder. Powder being mineral makeup as well. And of course you need to think about the coverage that you're after, because if your skin is almost perfect, do you even need a foundation to begin with? And if you do need a foundation, what are you trying to cover? That way you don't go and buy the fullest coverage foundation you can ever find, the stuff to cover tattoos with, when you've got barely nothing on your face. Also, the effect that you're after, whether it be matte, Demi Matte, glowing, is really important. And I think that along with the next one are the two most important things, which is your skin type. If you have oily skin, dry skin, combination skin, sensitive skin, it's a very good thing to know your skin type. I've done a video on this and I'll post it very soon for you, I promise. But your skin type will affect the way the foundation looks on the skin. If you have very dry skin and you decide to put on a very sort of powder foundation, it may not be as forgiving as, say, a cream or a liquid or a more moisturizing foundation would. The same thing with if you've got really oily skin and you decide that the effect that you want is a really glowing foundation. Within 10 minutes you may look like a disco ball and it may not be the prettiest thing. So your skin type is incredibly important because it affects the outcome of how the foundation will look on your face. Make sure you like the consistency as well, which goes back to whether you prefer liquids or creams or powders. Personally speaking, I prefer waxy based products like MAC Full Coverage, Ket Cream Foundation, because I can shear those out. They don't have to go on that heavy. I can shear them out. I can absorb some of the foundation with a tissue which you pull in half and you press on the skin. It absorbs the oil and leaves the pigment. So I prefer waxy based ones because they just blend and they mesh well with the skin. Now, the two golden rules with foundation. The first one, I think, is that I prefer to match the foundation colour to your chest, because I think the face and body should know each other, and you don't want to look like one colour one and one colour another. So it's good to look like you belong to the same person. Now, two ways of doing that. One is to bring the foundation down onto your neck so that you kind of all blend into one. But some women don't like the idea of that, liquid on the neck. So the other way of doing it is to match it to your jawline here. When you've done that, then get a powder bronzer if your chest is a little bit darker, and you can bronze the sort of outer perimeter of the face here and bring it down onto the neck, therefore balancing yourself and becoming more sort of like you belong to the same person. But again, this is just what I think. I mean, everybody is different, and what works for you may not work for me, and vice versa. And it's just makeup, so these are just my kind of tips and opinions on it. The last thing is that like speaks to like. Very important. When you turn the back of your moisturizer over, turn the back of your foundation over, look for the sort of first 5 or 6 ingredients on that list. Remember that like speaks to like. Oil and water don't mix. When you see people writing foundation reviews, they say, well, the foundation didn't last 5 minutes on my face. It's probably the skincare they're using under was not compatible. Oil and water, that kind of thing. So you need to think about what you're putting on your face. It's one of the most important things that you can do with your foundation to make it last. Absorbing some of that excess oil with a tissue goes a long way, but making sure that your skincare is compatible and compiling a list of like speaks to like kind of foundations and moisturizers so that you can see what's oil based, what's wax based, what's silicone based, what's more water based, to help you along the way. It's a big list, so I'll be working on it and I'll post it hopefully when I'm done very soon. Hope some of this was at least a little bit interesting for you, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.